COVID-19's vaccine is now available to all ages 12 and above, and that includes you. So come on over here and join me. So tell me, how do you feel about getting the vaccine?
Well, I honestly feel a little nervous because I don't really know what they're doing inside of me.
Well, that's a problem that needs to be fixed instantly.
What?
But to understand vaccines, we first need to understand the immune system. It's made up of white blood cells, also known as leukocytes, and there are two types, phagocytes and lymphocytes. These two create a two-part attack. Phagocytes are like moving security cameras, basically scanning your body, and as soon as they find a threat, they'll go through phagocytosis, which is just a fancy way to say that the phagocytes literally consume the threat whole. On each pathogen or threat, there are antigens, which is the part of the pathogen that prompts the second part of the immune response. So once the phagocytes identify the antigen, they'll show that information to lymphocytes, who are in charge of the second part of the attack. There are two types of lymphocytes, T and B cells. Once they receive intel that there's a threat, their killer T cells will go to kill as many infected body cells as they can, while B and helper T cells create millions of antibodies. Antibodies are special proteins that latch onto an antigen to get ready to destroy it. Now, the very first time, it takes the body a while to fight the pathogen because it needs to identify the threat and then create the necessary antibodies, and the pathogen replicates during that time. So you do feel sick. But say that same threat happened to attack again. This time, your body will be prepared and fight off that quickly and efficiently. Sometimes this can happen so quick, you don't even feel the usual symptoms. And this is called immunity. It's like the legendary best protection suit ever. So you have to go through a lot to achieve it. But what if there was a way to achieve this immunity without going through the whole illness? This is where vaccines come in. They help the body by sending a very similar version of the real pathogen into our bodies to train it. And here are a few of the types. Live attenuated vaccine, which sends a weakened version of the pathogen into our body. These give the best immunity, but aren't safe for people with compromised immune systems. This type is used to protect against chickenpox. A different type of vaccine that is safe for grandparents is the inactivated vaccine, which is a version of the pathogen which has its infecting potential taken away. But it needs many doses. You get this type for your polio shot. There's also the subunit vaccine, which sends only the antigen into the body, but it's difficult to isolate the antigen. This type is used for the hepatitis B vaccine. And finally, the mRNA vaccine, which are the latest and greatest. They send the genetic material for the antigen so our body cells actually end up producing them. And if you got your COVID shot, you might have gotten this type. These are only 4 of the different types of vaccines, but all of them induce the body to make the necessary antibodies in the process described before without causing any harm.
Whoa! That was awesome!
So, do you feel ready to get the vaccine now?
Yes, let's go now!
I'm Shreya and I have gotten my vaccine.
We're ready to go!